Hello, and welcome to Moonbird's channel again. I'm not at the farm today, I'm at home, and as you can see I'm not in focus, and these two little gadgets here that I've got these knives sat on, the solar ones, and they're facing the window, and the curtains are wide open, and it shows how dull it is really outside because they're not turning, and the slightest excuse and these things start turning round. We've got 4 little solar windows on, and it could be the weight of the knives. Oh, see the slight turn from that one. Oh, slight turn from that one. The two big knives are quite chunky and heavy, and let's move them into the centre a little bit more. A bit hard to tell because I've got the camera pointed in a different direction, and you don't have to put up with my face today either. Well, this one here was the specific knife that I got, and I'm just trying to make sure I'm in front of the camera. Like I say, very hard looking at an angle. This was always known to me as a jackknife, and obviously this is a used one. I got it from Soldiers of Fortune, who have been advertising them. The price seems to have gone up a fair bit again, but I got this at a reasonable price for me. Why did I get it? Well, I got it because my dad always used to have one of these in his toolbox, and I must admit I always fancied it, and it disappeared over the years, and well, you just never seem to get around to doing certain things, but eventually I did. I sent off to Soldiers of Fortune for this and the other bigger, newer looking knife, and I haven't measured these, but I do have a tape measure to one side here, so let's have a look, because I would imagine they're not a locking knife. Like I say, it was known as a jackknife. Some people say it's a navy knife, sailor's knife, or various other things, but this is the biggest blade, and I suppose the usual usable blade is 2.5 inches. And if you want to be really clever and go back, it's 2 3/4 inches. So yeah, that would be known, that particular blade's known as a UK legal knife. It's non-locking, so providing you are following the guidelines of only taking it to either work a job or you have permission to be there with it, then shouldn't be too much of a problem. I noticed that there's this plastic which seems to be a bit grubby underneath at the moment, probably because I keep taking it down to the farm and where are we? And getting straw, grain, other bits and pieces embedded in my pockets and such like. But anyway, for some reason this seems to have lifted this. I don't know what it is really. It's I mean, this goes back to 19, particular one anyway. There are a lot of younger ones, but this one goes back to 1951. Where are we? Where are we? I think that's 1951. Yeah. See if I can get that in front of the screen. Come on, Derek. All right, there we are. Very oddly inscribed. Obviously you have your bottle opener, and it's quite sharp in there, so I would imagine that could be used as some sort of, I don't know, can opener, or I'm not really up on what the uses of this was, or this, if it was a sailor's knife. I suppose a sailor would know. I mean, if he was around horses, that could be used for clearing stones and such like around. Oh, what a nutter. And such like out of horses' hooves, if you were very careful with it. for its age. It still kind of snaps back into place again. So does this thing. It's really quite stiff to hold, to open and close rather, and this blade being a real, especially as I'm having trouble with my index fingers, and it's quite a way, but I don't know, there's just something about it that as a kid it caught everybody's attention, and there's just something about it, and it's a nice weighty sort of knife. There's a little screwdriver top on there, so I suppose it's very much like British Army knives, which kind of brings me to what made me think about doing a video about this next, because a friend on Facebook and YouTube, I think it's Tom Proud Salopian, that's it, Tom Proud Salopian. He was talking about how somebody had sent him an army knife as a gift, because his dad had had one of these army knives, and again it had disappeared. It brought back a lot of memories to him of this this knife his dad used to have. So yeah, kind of a sentimental value and a collector's type thing, and a nice chunky blade, workable blade, very heavy duty blade. I mean, look at the back of that. Where are we now? That's quite thick, isn't it? You know, for a penknife, and it comes right down to an edge. There's like, to me, doesn't seem to be any, what would they call it, a secondary bevel? Nope, just straight down from thick to thin. Very strong, heavy duty. I don't know what the metal is. Like I say, it's obviously been used a lot. It's very well pitted as well. This would have been used at the end of the war probably by people doing the conscription, or possibly even a sailor, you never know. This one I got at the same time, mainly because again it resembles the jackknife, although it does seem to be kind of a modern version of it really. It's still got the screwdriver type tip, which if I can get that to focus in, has obviously been really used. Yeah, and it's dented. This now breaks my fingers to get it open. I mean, that thumbnail bit there is really small, and again, my goodness, that is really stiff, and scares me a bit when I'm opening it because it is really rather sharp. And you notice this one comes to a point at the front instead of being rounded like the jackknife. I think this was listed as a British Army knife on the same site I got this from, Soldiers of Fortune, which I believe is Wales wear, and it's got a very unusual kind of shape to it there. There is actually a burr on that, I could feel it. Yeah, a bit there as well, smoother on that side than this side, my goodness. But anyway, so I'll put that one away. That goes away with a resounding click. And then, this one has a much deeper thumbnail bit, but it's still nearly ripped my nail out of its socket. Now what does this say? Wade and Butcher, Sheffield, England. So, presume that might be from the same factory. But anyway, there we have the bottle opener and a properly defined can opener on this one. I would imagine that that also would slice rope, and because of the way it is at the back there, you know, in an emergency, if you had to slice a seatbelt open, I reckon it'd do it. Putting my finger there, I can feel that is extremely sharp. Don't take chances today, laddie. So, there we have it. I'm going to be very careful with this because, like I say, it's only the back that snaps it into place. But even that is stiff to move. I mean, it obviously wasn't used a whole lot other than perhaps using that screwdriver. The blade isn't as pitted as this particular one. It seems nicely put together. It has a nice grip, nice feel. Not quite as heavy as this. Oh, I don't know. Yeah, I'm afraid I think we're going to have to say they're about the same weight actually. Now then, this says ABL 1951, and it looks like Colnse, COLNSSE, which sounds French to me. Which is very odd because, you know, this is a standard thing that lots of the British soldiers used to have. My dad had his when he was conscripted into the Air Force. So, not too sure on that one. But anyway, there you have something that I managed to get hold of. And if you are in England, Soldiers of Fortune is in Wales. You can find them online. You have to go into the reenactment section and search through that, not the general section. And I think they're both about £10 a piece, which for a knife that is still quality, still has a lot of good use in it, nice feel, you know, fit nicely in your pocket, I don't think you can complain too much. So there we have it. That was listed as a British Army knife. That was listed as a... It wasn't listed as a jackknife, it was listed as... Oh dear. Those grey cells are failing me again today, but anyway. A thorough search in the reenactment section will find you one of them and one of them. And of course, a friend of mine, Jack, he was telling me that he picked most of his up from car boots, and Taz, Valley Survivor, picks his up from military furs. So that's another way of picking them up. And then if you're good at cleaning rusty knives up. Now then, why is this one here? Well, this one I got from Henny Haynes. Yeah, Henny Haynes, which is an online well, he doesn't just sell knives, he sells all sorts of stuff. It's a Whitby knife being sold through Henny Haynes, and it was when I was on the post, it was a nice little pocket knife, because you was always finding little things that you had to do that required a little knife, and so having something like that, very sharp indeed, in your pocket. However, if I can get this in focus, because like I said, I'm sitting sideways onto the camera and I can't see 100%. Can you see the chip in the blade? That was a result of me not paying attention. That chunk and that mark was done by electricity. I cut into a live cable, I was very lucky. I'd been out in the garden, well, but what I could call a garden out the front, but anyway I was having to tidy it up using edge cutters, and apparently the wire had been cut through at some point and then re-secured. I never bothered to check the securement of the line. I just took it for granted that whoever done it had done it properly. However, it was a hot, sweaty day, and by the time I was getting towards the end, I must admit I was getting a bit dizzy and should have stopped instead of carrying on, or at least put a hat on, and I didn't do. And the cable came apart, and I thought, oh crap. So I brought it inside the house, close to where I'm sitting now, and propped the clipper end up, which was now detached from the electricity, and got hold of the cable that was live and had come away from it, and I decided to trim the wires to tidy them up, and the next minute there's a flash and a bang. There's a chunk of my blade missing. Luckily the safety had tripped. I'm not, what, 5 feet from the box, so whether that had anything to do with it, but luckily that tripped, and the fuse in the plug also blew at the same time, and I didn't get an electric shock, but I got a shock from the resulting bang, flash, nearly shit my pants, to put it bluntly. This was a lesson learned, and I survived. I think the lesson is, don't try to be a clever ass and carry on doing things when you have a feeling that all is not right. If I hadn't have gone out in what was a brilliantly sunshiny day and started working to the point where I was getting dizzy, I wouldn't have come this close to getting electrocuted, or if I'd have put a hat on or something. So something to be learned from that. So that's, you know, still super sharp, is a reminder, but it's also a bloody nice little knife in the end. Except for that chunk of blade, the rest still works, and it's just one of those handy little inside pocket knives, not too heavy, that does a decent job. I think the entire thing, look at that, see, where I always said the blade was on that was 2.5 inches long, so I would say this is about 2 inches long. Very nice reminder, and again, like I said, this was listed as a British Army knife. Like a lot of the ones I've seen recently don't look like this, they're very shiny and seem to have different bits on. So the last time I had questions about a knife, I got a lot of very helpful, polite answers, which is another thing that I do like about the community that I'm involved in. And again, this one I've always known as a jackknife. Some say it's a sailor's knife. I've heard a couple of other names for it. All I do know is that my dad had one of these, and I guess in the biblical word, I coveted it for years. Always thought one day he might pass it on to me, but I would never dare ask, because I knew he liked the knife and I wouldn't like to make somebody feel guilty about something they already liked. And then it just disappeared. I don't know, these things that disappear over time. And when did I send for this now? 2011, the end of 2011 I think. I decided, after seeing various people talking about pulling them apart and taking the rust off the ones they'd got from car boot sales. For American friends, car boot sales is like a garage sale, unless you have car boot sales as well. Just loads of cars meet on a big ground where I presume they've had to pay a licence or insurance for, and I sell things from the car boots. Very nice, very nice. I always take this to, well, I always take about 10 knives to the Ergon Club with me actually, but in various forms. Well, this is one that I like to have with me. It's just one of those, it's a talking point. You pull one of those out of your pocket and everybody recognises that as a jackknife, goes, hey, jackknife, not seen one of them in years, or whoa, you got your jackknife with you. Recognised as a reliable pocket penknife, folding penknife, and although non-locking, as you can see, when that locks into there with that bit behind it, you have to put a fair bit of force into it to get it down. And as for this one, well, I think you've already seen that really snaps into place. Like I say, except for that screwdriver, this is hardly been used. The blade doesn't look to have been touched, although there's a bit of a burr on it. But again, to get it back out again, in some ways that's why a locking knife would be safer, but anyway. Two knives, sentimental value with this one. That one is a reminder of how things can go wrong if you don't pay attention to everything that you do. I think this is probably the start of small knives. I said I'd come to the end of big knives, and then I found a couple of others again that I probably won't film for a while. If there is any information on these two, then you know, put it in the comments below and let me know. I'm always interested in knowing about the items that I have. I don't always know any history behind it, or you know what the steel is or anything. I just know I like something, and if it seems like it works, then I've never delved too far. But I think since becoming involved in the knife making community, and seeing what others have in their collections, or what they make, or for that matter what the people who go out doing survivalist, prepping, camping, hunting, because they make a nice hunting knife as well. You could skin with that no problem, and that one, and for that matter you could with that. Skinning depends on the user. I always like to take a pair of I've got a pair of custom made secateurs for cutting branches on shrubs and bushes. Obviously there are great big massive ones for the big trees, but I take the secateurs on hunting trips because once you've got, usually it's rabbits or squirrel, and you've got them laid out, you can snip the head off, snip the arms, legs, tail off, and that gives you less for the skinning and gutting. Makes it quicker. It's just snip, 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 snip. That's all the useless bits gone in one go. Just thought I'd throw that in. Anyway, I'll say goodbye for now, and hopefully I'll do another video again soon, because I've got a lot of small knives, neck knives, pocket knives, folding knives, daggers, and a couple of custom ones that you've seen before that I might just bring up again, just to give the people who made them a boost. So, keep well. See you again soon, he says, trying to get his thumbs in camera. The trouble is, I'm looking at the little screen at the side instead of with the lenses. Right on.